Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, back with some more Another Code R, and let's just go into the lab because serious shit went down in the last episode, and I'm not happy with how it turned out because, well, I recorded it really last minute, and I wanted to do a Japanese voiceover for Sayoko's speech. And basically a load of bad shit went down, and I wasn't able to do it, meaning the entire episode was delayed by a day for literally no reason. I got no payoff for it, but that's all water under the bridge. So, Ryan promised that if we went and did what we did in the last episode, he would spare our father's life and memories. Clearly he's not made good on that promise. Well, what the fuck now? What do you think? He's just got out of the Another pod and he's going, do you think possibly he might have had his memories erased? Is this seriously the end of the chapter? Really? Dear oh dear. Well, he showed us the clock? Yes, because the globe was the thing we used to open the thing in Rex's room. Huh. I'm so good at remembering stuff that I recorded oh so recently. Yeah, so you have been in Jarring Thudsfit's house. So, yeah, let's just recap everything we already know, because this could well be the last episode, I don't know yet. I've been kept so in the dark. That would be the day of your birth. There's no point even humouring the other options, it was about technically, your first birthday, which was the day you were born, rather than the day you turned 1. Which is a bit strange, really, but it's... well, the system will be confusing no matter how you slice it. Yes, and clearly he's gone through with that, despite the fact that we carried out our end of the bargain. Did he really expect us not to? It was a nunchuck! I would say, oh, well, the password change. No, that was in... that was under the chocolate next to the box. Judd's biography, yes. And then we had that whole speech from Sayoko, which I would have loved to have dubbed using the... because the Japanese version of this game, well, this English version is a straight translation of the Japanese, and so I could have read it out, text box by text box, but I only found 2 videos of that speech in Japanese, and both of them were so low quality, and it looked like the kana of her speech were in some sort of weird handwriting font, so I could barely read those. I could barely read the kanji, I could barely read the kana above the kanji indicating how to pronounce them, so even if I had gone through with the dub like I'd planned, I still wouldn't have been able to definitely dub it in without making a few mistakes here and there. And I'm really rather salty about that, to be quite honest, because the whole episode was delayed for nothing! But anyway, that was a really short chapter if that was a chapter. I would have thought this would be part of that chapter as well, but evidently not. And incidentally, the task isn't very upgraded, it just unlocked that one mess. Oh wait, no, it unlocked sort of another based feature as well, didn't it? God, I fucking love these title cards, and how the ripple gets stronger each time as well, in case I didn't point that out the last time. Ashley, what the fuck do you think he did? He just got another did. And he won't recognise the fact that you're calling him, he's not gonna recognise you, is he? Congratulations, you've been amnesiaed. No, it isn't, good sir. Good grief. Ashley! For the last fucking time, what do you think he did? You know what this device does! Oh my Christ, Ashley, you are a little bit dense. No, of course he doesn't. He's just had his memory wiped, you dipshit. What do you think? Ryan lies. This has been established. Of course he doesn't recognize... He's fine. His last memories are from MJ Labs, which is where he met Sayoko, after which Ashley was born. God criffity flach! course he won't remember you! He fucking had his mind wiped! You dildo! To be fair, Richard, though, you're being a little bit of a dildo yourself as well, because you wake up in some strange future-y place, and someone's calling you father. What the fuck do you think's happened? But Ashley... See, this is like... Ashley's TVR, and Dr. Robbins is the EBU. Like, they're both wrong, but Ashley's more wrong comparatively. But Dr. Robbins is being kind of not very wise about it, so there's wrongness on both sides. But Ashley's having more wrong in how she's handling it. Do you not remember your own ass wife? Fucking wow, you just got married to her, and oh, she's dead. She has been dead for a while. Jesus, you bread muffin. You're just not going to address the Ryan Gry elephant in the room. And also, is that looks like his arm, but it also looks like he has a really long, like, mosquito nose there. Ashley, how could you not have worked this one out? Is it not blindingly fucking obvious? No, he isn't! Have you just Ashley! Ashley, fucking hell! You dildo. Oh, good grief, these people! I have no words. Like, Ashley is still the main problem here, because I mean, I know it must be hard to come to terms, but Jesus Christ. It's not hard to tell. He's had his brain erased by another. You knew this was a possibility. There's a discarded rope in the background behind Ryan. Does that mean that Rex escaped? Well, not that he wasn't tied up when we left. He was just pistol whipped, but nevertheless. That could just be the rope that was holding Dr. Robbins down before he got flagged. That's not a verb, you know what I mean. I suppose that's true. We were told that by upgrading the TAS, we now have the power to unlock the full potential of another and restore memories, so perhaps this is just his way of twisting the knife and making sure we make good on our promise. But, Ashley, show him, don't give it to him. Because, Ryan, you look with your eyes, not your hands. Ashley, for fuck's sake, he's the bad guy! Don't just hand him the thing! Yes, because we had the TAS the whole time, but don't tell him that! Well, that was more or less my reaction as well, but Ashley, why did you not realise something was askew when he was talking about the TAS as if you didn't have it, as if it was in that box, and then why did you not have a moment of realisation upon discovering that the item in the box was an upgrade module and not the TAS proper, which is what he wanted in the first fucking place? But, technically speaking, the upgrade module is what gives the TAS the capability to do whatever it was that he wants us to do, because the upgrade module upgrades us to True Another System version 2, which is what enables us to restore the lost memories. Really? Not everyone is as backwards and cold and clinical as you. Just because you don't understand love, you absolute cunt spanner. Ooh. Ooh! Ooh, that was unexpected. Jesus. Did not expect that to slip out. Teehee. That's because you don't understand love, you asshole. Fucking Flowey. God, it really is Lake Ebbot, isn't it? We've had Ranger Asgore, got fucking Flowey Gry here. You have no soul, asshole. Even though, despite this, I mean, the moral here kind of is blood is thicker than water, but that expression means the exact opposite of what people think is, because the full quote is, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the waters of the womb. So it literally means the opposite of how it's commonly used. That means that if you voluntarily make someone your blood brother, yes, blood brother, or that kind of image, that means you're more inclined to be closer to them than someone who is only superficially connected to you by sharing relatives, i.e. the waters of the womb. So, in the common sense, yes, but in the literal sense, the opposite. You know what I mean? Why do you think? She has no parents left because of you, arsehole! No. Well, don't make people cry then, you fuck nugget. Jesus on the moon. Oh, right, yeah, like you can just turn it off like a fucking tap. Am I reminding you of your emotions that you've so willfully left behind? I don't give a fuck. Well, they may be unnecessary for you because you're a stone-cold arsehole with a seriously one-track mind, but that doesn't mean you have to force your belief system on everyone. Vegans take note. Fight me. Just kidding. Yeah, do you think they're trying to... Well, no. It's a psychological mechanism. It's not protecting from feelings, it's expending them. And it's not a justification, and it's not an attempt to force sympathy, it's just an expression of anguish. Well, no, you've got it wrong there. Crying and stress, distress, pain, all that, it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of having to be too strong for too long. So shut your fuck, take your beef supremacy, light the blue touch paper and fucking retire. Or you could just say it in slightly less epic terms, actually. I mean, Lord knows, I needed to bring some ham to this discussion just so I could get a new entry on my TV Tropes Awesome subpage, because that's literally just the finale of Undertale, or I think the neutral ending of Undertale, and it's not been updated since, and that's been several months. I need some more awesome quotes to be added to that or something. Yeah. Of course they haven't, because he's so narrow-minded. I mean, I admit I haven't cried for years, but that's, like, to the point where I feel like I've forgotten how. But I don't begrudge people the right or the capacity. Oh, good grief, is everything fucking science with you? Yes, sorrow, anguish, anger as well, I suppose, general pain and negativity, and also sympathy, I suppose. And, well, I suppose one's own shortcomings as well. And regret, yeah. That makes sense. But sympathy as well, because, well, actually, the two are kind of interconnected there. Regret on one's own part, and sympathy that I have failed you, therefore I must try and... I don't know, you get what I'm trying to say. Yes, I fuckety would, actually. Look, don't just give those cinematic face angles. This isn't Vogue, this is serious business. Fucking do it, or I will punch you in the face with my Wii remote. Oh, fucking hell. Now, not to break the immersion, but I believe if there is more than one ending to this game, then this is the dividing point. This is a thing that you can do, and this is a thing that you have to do in order to get through the game, but the player is in full control of the outcome. And I've never dared to do the other outcome. I've always gone for the obviously correct outcome, and I assume that either that gives you one of two endings, or both endings wrap back around to the same conclusion. Whoa there, friendo. Tess in editing here. I did a little bit of research after recording this, and as it turns out, in the upcoming sequence, it looks as though you have two options, which could lead to two different endings, but in actuality, there's the obvious right answer, and the wrong answer that the game won't let you pick. So, ignore what I'm saying here, there actually is only one outcome, and it won't let you do anything besides that one outcome. Which is a shame, really. It would have been nice to see an alternative ending, but this is what we've got, and we're just gonna have to live with that. On with the video! And so, I may, as an extra episode, come back and view the other outcome of this, and if it's not anything different, then I won't show it, and if it is something different, then I will show it. But I'm going to go with the path that I took the first time I played this game. But, I mean, let's not run before we can walk here. Tell us more about these things if I can find how to point at the screen. There we are. Still not used to having the sensor bar underneath the TV. What do you think it is, Ashley? Sayoko's memories will overwrite yours and you will become her but in a new body, which is a really weird concept. Especially if doing so doesn't expend the mnemonic fluid, because if that's the case, you could just create infinite clones of someone in a whole bunch of different bodies. It's not perfect though, because you'd have to completely erase Ashley's memories first, and even then you'd need all of Sayoko's, but the contents of that pendant are just a single day. So you can't really convince, well, no, you might be able to convince someone that they've had amnesia and that one day is all that's left in their head. Which would be a really, really interesting premise for the start of a third game, but unfortunately the company who made this game no longer exists as far as I know. We don't get what when you're so opposed to something that you just break out into scat singing. Could it be because you're Sayoko's daughter? Well, that doesn't quite make sense, but I mean, it nearly does. Sort of. I suppose it would indicate high compatibility, but you do have some rather janky sources for what you're trying to say here. Doesn't really make the most sense. Might not necessarily, though, because memories don't really have date stamps. I mean, they do in as far as how we interpret them, but you won't have, you don't have an error message in your brain saying, oh no, these two files have the same name, in the same way you would with a computer, because that's not how brains work. Well, perhaps so, but then if you accept Sayoko's memories to replace all of your bad memories, then not only will you become a Mary Sue, but you also have a horrible split personality. I'm not saying split personalities are horrible, but I mean, hers would be one that is of a horribly jagged nature. Well, we don't really have a choice, do we? Because we need to save Dr. Robbins. Are you even going to give me a choice? Because I don't think you have a choice, Ashley. Honestly, you can't, but if there's even the faintest hope that you can rescue Dr. Robbins, then I say go for it. Not that he necessarily deserves it, but he's fam. We must rescue the fam. Ah, but of course, we know how your ass works. Didn't mean that literally, but I mean we understand that too. Because she's 16, she will have done, well, if she lived in the UK, she would have done GCSE biology by now. Yay, duodenum. But enough fancy biology talk, more fancy science talk, because biology is not science, you know what I mean. You arse. Well, here goes the thing then. Ironically, this is one of the most protruding memories of this game that I have in my head. Like, this scene and the opening scene. Well, there are other parts of the game that I remember very strongly, but this is one of the strongest memories of the game that I have, so this is the thing. Also, note how the pod itself is shaped similarly to the mnemonic pendant. So what have we got then? It's all up to us now. I love the atmosphere of this section, by the way. Ah, Ashley's brain has a screensaver. Did I kill the mood? I killed the mood. So let's do this thing then. Nokuto Lee's asked memories. Ashley, why haven't you upgraded to a full colour brain? Why are all your memories in sepia? Just a thought. God, Ryan, you're insufferable. You don't even talk like a normal person. Oh, I have to point at the screen. It's not easy to do so. So, Sayoko's memory or Ashley's memory? Ashley has the will to live here. As I said, I suspect... Oh yeah, that must have been terrifying for her, because that was the night of her mother's murder. But I suspect if you select all of Sayoko's memories, that'll either give you a completely different ending, or everything will railroad back to the ending that we're getting here, but either way, I'm gonna take the route that I took the first time I played this game, which is just 100% Ashley 100% of the time. And it could just be that if you pick Sayoko's memory, then the game just says, no, that's wrong, and railroads you back, but you could get a completely different ending, I don't know. We'll find out in a bonus episode or not. And what happens if you get conflicting memories? Like, I've picked 2 of Ashley's, and then what if I get one of Sayoko's now? But I'm not going to, because all Ashley all the time. In other words, Ryan, we're making your experiment fail from the inside. And there's nothing you could do about it. Oh yes, and Jessica, she was a nice one from what we've heard of her. Oh, he's switching up now, you can't fool me. Or can you? No, you can't. And I'm guessing somewhere in here is memories of the previous game. Yep, there we go, memories of the previous game right there, because that was her outfit from that game. And then... Well now, we've assuming they're in chronological order, we've seen her 14th birthday, so it wouldn't make sense to see baby Ashley here, so I'm assuming this must be the right answer. That looks like a scene from one of the Phoenix Wright games, honestly. Oh right, that will have been in the previous game as well, so that's why I don't recognise the scene, rather. That looks like Aiko in the back there from Honey Pop. Oh no, it's Jessica. But she looks so much like Aiko, but a bit gingerer. Oh, he looks so worried. And I'm guessing the events of this game are why that was. This is somewhat labouring the point, I think, but it's also very poignant, so I'm not going to disparage it, because, as I said, this part of the game is what stuck with me. You could say that this sequence is a lot of the reason why I chose to let's play this game in the first place. It's not the only reason, but it helped. So I wanted to re-experience this. But of course, Ryan, being on the outside, can only see that it's happening, he can't see what's happening. So, Mr. Grey, who refuses to eat his cereal, your experiment is a failure! Dun dun dun. But the thing is, we kept up our side of the bargain, so that means you have to restore Dr. Robinson's memories. And get fucked while you're at it. So what do you have to say about that? Well, I'd imagine, because there aren't any gaps to fill. Well, you could lie, but I don't really see the benefit of either, because if we say no, he could just force us to try again. But if we say yes, we're lying. So no, your experiment was a failure, and you're going to have to fucking live with that. Well, if it had worked, do you think we'd answer to the name Ashley? You dildo. So yeah. Maybe it's a little bit harsh on Sayoko because that means there's no way of bringing her back. But I suppose it's part of the healing process. We're going to have to let her go and move on. Well, not to me they aren't, arsehole. Because, as I said, not everyone thinks like you. Don't try to force people to think like you. Yes, it fucking was. Yeah, so fucking put him back. You don't intend to, though, do you? Oh, so you're going to deride crying, but you're going to have fun laughing at us, though. You don't have a problem with that, even though it's, by your logic, it's equally meaningless. Well, it's a good thing we broke it on our end as well. And promises are meaningless to him. You see, Ashley, you really should learn of these sorts of things. And maybe we fucking are. This time, probably extreme hatred. Or you could be strong as well. I fully support that. You're a strong, independent woman who don't need no Ryan cereal soup asshole dick sausage ass parcel. Yeah, you don't know how to feel. You don't know what feeling is. So, yeah, get fucking dunked on. With the power of love. Don't tell him about the Tess! We had the upper hand. But then again, she's the protagonist in a Japanese game. She's going all 11th hour superness on us. No, fuck off. No, you won't. You've proven yourself time and time again that you're not trustworthy. You, sir, have failed the experiment. You tell him, Ashley. Well, I know, but by your logic, wanting is meaningless. You, by your very nature, are meaningless. So shoot all you want, but it's biometrically linked to us. If you kill us, you can't use it at all. Did you think you're the one holding a hostage here? Because you're not. Not gonna happen. Damn right, Richard. You might not even remember who Ashley is, but you remember who Ryan is, and this is not acceptable behaviour. But you know what the best part is? Yes, there's the two of us, but as long as we stall for time, we shouldn't be the only ones fighting the corner here. Do it then, I fucking dare you. Admittedly, I don't want Ashley to lose another parent to a shooting, although, judging by the disposable memories, this isn't the first time Richard had a gun pointed at him. Not gonna happen, arsehole. We're the protagonists, that means we're instantly going to... There we go. Did I not say, stall for time? Fucking Rex coming in with the clutch plays there. You weren't so bad after all. Come on, act while he's not focused. Fucking... Well, he's running away. Well, I suppose that's because he can't point his gun at 3 people at once. Am I killing the mood? I don't want to think that I'm killing the mood, but anyway. Thanks for that, Mr. Alfred. I was only half sure it would happen. I was kind of talking out my ass when I said that it would. Because the disposable memories bit is what I remember. The rest of it, bit of a blur. Well, it wasn't really a wound at all. You just kind of charge tackled him. But Rex, why do you know about the TAS? I get that you're in charge here, but how do you know about it? Because he was incapacitated when Ryan told us about it. It's the TAS! What the fuck do you think it is? Yes, actually. I.e. like this. So, how about you chase after Ryan, Mr. Alfred, and... how about we save Dr. Robbins? As the protagonist, that was always our destiny from the beginning. Because this game is so anime. But in any case, wow, I really do have to point at the door from this distance. Well, we're at half an hour, so I will say that I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons, and in the next episode, we're going to do just that and put an end to this nonsense once and for all now that we actually do have something resembling the upper hand. See you then.